You are carrying a weight you cannot see. It clings to you, slows you down, and suffocates your potential. It is the past, the mistakes, the betrayals, the disappointments, and the identities you refuse to release. You tell yourself that holding on gives you control, that if you replay events enough times, you will find meaning or justice. But in reality, you are shackled, trapped in a prison of your own making. The world does not wait for those who refuse to move. Time is indifferent to your suffering, and life will not pause for you to sort through your regrets. Every second spent dwelling on what was is a second stolen from what could be. The strongest, the most powerful, are not those who cling to old wounds, but those who force themselves to let go. Understand this: letting go is not passive. It is an act of war against your own weakness. It takes strength to sever ties with what no longer serves you. It requires discipline to silence the voices of doubt, regret, and nostalgia. Your past does not define you unless you allow it to. If you wish to be free, you must choose freedom. Look at those who remain trapped in the past. They walk through life burdened by grudges, bitterness, and sorrow. They speak in what-ifs and should-haves. They waste their energy reliving battles already lost. Do you want to be like them? Or do you want to be among those who take their pain, their lessons, and use them as fuel to propel themselves forward? When you let go, you reclaim your power. You shift your focus from what cannot be changed to what can be created. You become lighter, faster, sharper. The moment you release your grip on what is dead, you create space for something new, something greater. But make no mistake, this is not easy. Your mind will resist. It will tempt you with memories, with the illusion of unfinished business. Do not be fooled. The past is an anchor. The future is a sword. You can choose to be dragged down, or you can wield that sword and carve your own path forward. Burn the old version of yourself. Step into the unknown. You are standing in a graveyard of your own making. Every painful memory, every regret, every missed opportunity lies buried beneath the soil of time. And yet, instead of walking forward, you stand there, mourning what is already dead. You dig up old wounds, searching for answers, clinging to what no longer exists. But the past is a corpse. It has nothing left to offer you. The mind plays a cruel trick, convincing you that if you hold on to your failures, your mistakes, and your losses, you will somehow gain control over them. You believe that if you analyze them long enough, they will change, that they will bend to your will. But they won't. The past is not a living thing. It is frozen, unchangeable, indifferent to your obsession. Meanwhile, the present waits for you. Opportunity knocks, but you are too distracted by yesterday's echoes to hear it. You cannot move forward while looking backward. The more you cling to the past, the more you poison your future. Those who fail to recognize this truth become prisoners of time, stuck in cycles of self-pity, regret, and nostalgia, unable to break free. Look around. The most powerful, the most successful, the most fulfilled are not those who waste energy reliving what went wrong. They are the ones who refuse to carry dead weight. They do not lament what could have been. They focus on what can be. When something no longer serves them, whether it be an outdated belief, a toxic relationship, or a failed plan, they discard it without hesitation. They understand that growth requires space, and clinging to what is already gone only suffocates potential. It is time to bury the past for good. Let go of the old version of yourself, the one defined by mistakes and disappointments. Let go of the pain that keeps you chained to events you can never change. The past is not a source of power. It is a distraction, a mirage designed to keep you stagnant. If you wish to be free, you must stop breathing life into what is already dead. Turn away from the graveyard. Walk forward. The future is waiting. You are not who you were a year ago. You are not even who you were yesterday. But the question is, are you evolving, or are you clinging to an outdated version of yourself? Those who refuse to change, who remain stuck in old identities, are doomed to stagnation. They become relics of their former selves, living in a world that has already moved on without them. The most dangerous trap in life is the illusion of permanence, the belief that who you are today is who you must always be. People hold on to old habits, outdated beliefs, and past successes as if they are sacred. They fear change because change means uncertainty. But what they fail to realize is that refusing to evolve is far riskier than stepping into the unknown. History belongs to those who understand this truth. The greatest warriors, thinkers, and leaders were not those who clung to a single identity, but those who reinvented themselves again and again. They adapted, transformed, and became something greater each time. They shed their former selves like dead skin, discarding what no longer served them. If a strategy failed, they abandoned it. If a mindset weakened them, they replaced it. If a version of themselves no longer fit the world they wanted to conquer, they became someone new. Think about how many people you've seen trapped in the past. They defined themselves by what they once were. The athlete who refuses to move on from old glory days, the business person who relies on outdated methods, the person who clings to an old relationship long after it has withered. They are prisoners of their former selves, unable to grow, unable to evolve. And in a world that never stops moving, those who stand still are left behind. To survive, to thrive, you must be ruthless in your reinvention. Question everything, your beliefs, your skills, your identity. If something no longer serves your growth, have the courage to let it go. Do not fear the destruction of the old. It is necessary for the birth of the new. Reinvention is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Burn the old version of yourself. Step into the next evolution. The future does not belong to those who resist change. It belongs to those who force themselves to become something greater. There are people in your life right now who are holding you back. You know who they are. They drain your energy, feed your self-doubt, and keep you tethered to a version of yourself that you have long outgrown. And yet, you tolerate them. You make excuses for them. You tell yourself that cutting them off would be cruel, that loyalty means endurance, even when the weight of their presence is suffocating you. But here is the truth. Not everyone is meant to go where you are headed. Some people were only meant to be part of your past, yet you drag them into your future, hoping they will change, hoping they will see your vision. They won't. Instead, they will slow you down, chip away at your confidence, and keep you locked in a cycle of stagnation. The most powerful people understand that growth requires sacrifice. If you want to evolve, you must be willing to cut ties with those who no longer align with your mission. This is not cruelty, it is self-preservation. Surround yourself with those who sharpen you, who challenge you, who push you forward, not those who anchor you in place. And it's not just people, it's habits, beliefs, and routines that no longer serve you. If your actions today are based on outdated fears and insecurities, you are sabotaging your own future. How many times have you held on to something simply because it was familiar? How many times have you allowed toxic patterns to repeat because breaking them required discomfort? Cutting off what drains you is not just about removing the obvious negatives. It's about eliminating everything that weakens your potential, no matter how small. It's about being ruthless with your energy, protecting your time like a fortress, and refusing to entertain anything that does not contribute to your growth. Weakness is found in hesitation. Strength is found in decisive action. Do not wait for the perfect moment to remove what is weighing you down. Do not convince yourself that things will get better if they have shown no signs of improvement. If something or someone is not adding value to your life, then they are extracting it. And anything that extracts more than it gives is a liability. Let go, move forward. Your future depends on it. Fear is a liar. It whispers in your ear, convincing you that danger is around every corner, that failure is inevitable, that you are not enough. It masquerades as caution, as logic, as self-preservation, but in reality it is a prison. One that you have built for yourself, brick by brick. And the longer you entertain fear, the stronger it becomes. Look at your life. How many times have you hesitated because of fear? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you were too afraid to take the leap? You tell yourself you are waiting for the right moment, for more certainty, for a sign, but that moment never comes. The ones who wait for fear to disappear before they act are the ones who never act at all. The most successful, the most powerful are not fearless. They feel fear like everyone else, but they refuse to let it dictate their actions. They see fear for what it is, an illusion, a test, a barrier meant to be broken. They understand that fear is not a stop sign, it is a signal that they are moving in the right direction. Growth only happens when you step beyond your comfort zone, and fear is the last defense of the small, weak version of yourself that you are meant to leave behind. Think of all the times fear has lied to you. It told you that if you spoke up, you would embarrass yourself. It told you that if you took a risk, you would fail. It told you that if you let go of security, you would be lost. And yet, every great success, every moment of triumph in your life came from ignoring fear and pushing forward anyway. If you want to be truly free, you must stop negotiating with fear. You must stop giving it a voice in your decisions. Fear will never go away completely, but you can choose to act in spite of it. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. The ones who succeed feel fear and move anyway. You have a choice. You can let fear control you, or you can step forward despite it, burn the illusion, walk through the fire. On the other side, your greatest self is waiting. The future does not belong to the hesitant. It does not wait for those who second-guess themselves, who cling to the past, who let fear dictate their choices. It belongs to the bold, the ones who dare to act, who take risks, who embrace uncertainty with unwavering force. Every moment you are presented with a choice to move forward or to stay where you are. Most people hesitate. They wait for certainty, for reassurance, for someone to tell them they are ready. But certainty is a mirage. It never comes. And while they stand still, the bold have already seized the opportunity, taken the risk, and claimed what others were too afraid to reach for. Look at history, at those who have shaped the world. They were not the ones who played it safe. They did not ask for permission. They made bold moves, took decisive action, and forced life to bend to their will. They understood a simple truth. Hesitation kills potential. Every second spent doubting is a second lost. And yet, most people will never step into their own power. They are trapped in their routines, their fears, their need for approval. They tell themselves they will act someday, when the timing is right, when they feel more confident, when the circumstances are perfect. But someday never comes. The bold know this, and that is why they move now. To live fully, you must train yourself to act without hesitation. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. They do not exist. Stop looking for signs. The only sign you need is the fire inside you telling you to move. Take the risk. Speak up. Make the decision. Go after what you want with relentless force. The future is shaped by those who refuse to wait. Will you be among them? Or will you watch as others take the opportunities that could have been yours? The choice is yours, and it is made in every action or inaction you take. The future is not something you wait for, it is something you seize. Step forward, burn hesitation to the ground. The bold do not wait, neither should you.